All right, today we're going to learn how to take a task that's created in Sierra. Let's see here. Let's go not to the MLS. All right, task. So let's say I'm taking a lead and I need to make a task, right? Saying that I'm going to call them or text them or email them or send them a site message, what have you. But usually it's going to be a phone call. Like, hey, that's right. I need to remember to call Layla back here at, let's say on Tuesday, because she needs to talk to her bank before she makes any further decisions. So let's say we agreed on, 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Okay, I assign it to myself. Okay, so now I have a task set for Tuesday in March at 10 a.m. And it's a phone call, and I'm gonna put something to the effect of follow up in regards to, what did your bank have to say, something along that lines. Okay, and then I add the task. I'm not going to add the task to this one because that's not accurate. But so now I add the task, and it will pop up into my task bars here when I have here we go, calls. So like today I have 0 calls to make, but on Tuesday that would pop up and I would have 1 call to make. I could view that and I could manage the task from here. But let's say I want it to pop up into my calendar and here on Tuesday the 22nd. Okay, let's say I want it to pop up here into my calendar, then I need to create a Zap. So the Zap is going to it's going to say, okay, when a task is created in Sierra Interactive, I want it to be put onto my Google Calendar. Okay. And I cannot do that unless I have, either a Zap or API Nation or some sort of a tool like that. But we're going to use Zapier. Okay. You get 100 Zaps for free. So the first thing I would recommend doing is signing up with Google. If you use your Google account, it'll always remember it, and it's easy to always remember how to log in. Okay, so I'm going to use my Jason at the Madrona Group account here. Okay, very good. And I have, let me make sure I don't have any Zaps in here. Create a lead and entry. Okay, so I do have that, but that's okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create a new Zap. All right. Now you got this create your own workflow. You can start from here as well, but it's just if we start from here, create a Zap, I think it's a little bit easier. So let's just go ahead and create a Zap. Okay. And now what we're going to do is name our Zap. So this one will be send a Sierra task to my Google Calendar. Okay, very good. Now the trigger. So what's going to trigger this Zap, right? So first we have to find the app that's going to be triggered. So in this case, it's going to be the Sierra Interactive app. Okay. What event will trigger this Zap? So the event is a new task. So when a new task is created in Sierra, okay, very good. So now I continue. Okay, now it's going to ask me to choose the Sierra account because the Zap doesn't know what Sierra Interactive account that I have. So I need to sign in to Sierra Interactive. Okay, in order to do that, it's going to ask me for an API key. Now, I can go to my integrations and I can go to my Sierra Interactive integrations and find my Zapier, which is active. I can copy this API key. And then I can come back here. Where's that little pop-up window at? There it is, right? And I paste my API key. And if you do not have that API key function on your Sierra account, then ask your manager or team leader for theirs, and it can be provided to you. Okay, so by putting in that API key, you see that now instead of saying log into my Sierra account, it says Sierra Interactive Jason Fox's account. Okay, very good. So now it knows what Sierra account that it needs to pull the data from. So I hit continue. And it needs to know from what site. We only have one site, but if you had multiple sites, then you would choose the appropriate one. So we just have the johnlscottballard.com site. And then we have to choose the agent by which we want the data to be pulled from. So obviously you will choose your own name. So for me, it's Jason Fox. Okay, very good. So now we have logged into our Sierra account. We've told Zapier that we're going to go from the John L. Scott Ballard account. We want to pull Jason Fox's data, and we want a Zap to be triggered when a new task is created for Jason, right, in my account. Okay, so now I continue. All right, so I'm going to test my trigger. Right, make sure that so far so good, it's working. Let's see. Oh, we found a task, and here it is. Okay, very good. So now I continue. Okay, so I've set up the Sierra portion of the Zap, and the second is an action in an event a Zap performs after it starts. So now what is it going to do? So we're going to look up Google Calendar. Right? And now we need to pick the event, right? So we got Google Calendar, but what happens? And so you got two choices. You can either quick add the event, which it will kind of, it's just going to take the basic information, or you can create a detailed event. So for the sake of easiness, you can do the quick add event, but if you want it to be more detailed, click the create detailed event. Either one will create an event in your calendar. I'm not exactly sure what one has over the other, but I'm going to go ahead and do create detailed event and then continue. Okay, now obviously Zapier doesn't know what my Google Calendar is, right? So we need to sign in to my Google Calendar. And I'm going to use my business calendar here. Okay, Zapier wants access to my Google account. I allow that. Okay, there we go. So now the Zapier knows to come from my Sierra Interactive John L. Scott Ballard site. When a task is created from the Jason Fox account, we want a detailed event added to the Madrona Group calendar. Okay, obviously this will be your calendar here, but okay, so we're getting there. Good, continue. Okay, so the calendar, choose the value. So I don't know if you noticed, but you have like multiple calendar kind of views that you can look at on your Google Calendar. So choose the one that you look at the most. It's probably just like the name of the email that you use to sign up to the Google Calendar. Summary. So your summary, this is going to be like kind of what you see in your, that first line of your Google event. So what we want to do is these are all like these are all the pieces of data that are created by the task on Sierra, and we can take them and we can add them into the detailed event on Google Calendar. So in this case, we want to source, I believe. What's that? Sorry. Content of task. Here we go. Okay, content of task, right? In this case, text to congratulate about putting in her 2-week notice. This particular person is moving, and so that's it's a big deal. Okay, so here we go. So we put the content of tasks as the summary. The description, just so that I have the phone number in case like my task is the call. I'm gonna go ahead and put the phone number in there so I have that. The location, I don't need that because it's gonna be a phone call. Add conferencing. I'm gonna go ahead and put yes because sometimes I will do Zoom calls. Okay, the start date and time, excuse me. That's going to be the due date of the task. So the due date of the task on Sierra will be the start date and time on my Google Calendar event. Now, the end date and time is going to be the due date of the task on Sierra plus 0100. So plus 1 hour. Okay. So I want this task to be like 1 hour long because it's going to block out that time in my Google Calendar. So maybe you just want it to be 30 minutes, right? It's up to you. 15 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to put an hour in there and just in case. Okay, repeat frequency. We're not going to worry about that because typically these will be a one-off events. Repeat until, nope. Repeat how many times? We're not going to repeat it all day. Nope, definitely not. Color, you can make it a different color. Like if you want to definitely know that all of your Sierra tasks are a specific color. You can't see what these are because they're all hex values, but you could make them a specific color if you wanted to. Okay. Let's see, where do we go? Okay, color. Attendees. So the attendees will just be me. So in this case, it would be agents. Email address of agent to whom the task is assigned. Okay, that's me. And then calendar default visibility, yes. Use default reminders, yes. Excuse me. Use default reminders. So this is like kind of super critical for me personally. I'm going to say yes because I have my default reminders set up for 1 day in advance, 1 hour in advance, and then like 10 minutes in advance. I like to be reminded a lot that I have appointments coming up. But if you don't kind of have that default set up in your Google, then click no. And then for reminders, you can put either email or pop-up. I'd probably go pop-up, and that'll just put a little pop-up window from your Google calendars and minutes before reminder. So maybe like 60 minutes. So that will give you a 1 hour pop-up to remind you that you have this task coming up. Okay. But again, I will leave mine as default. Okay, very good. And then show me as free or busy. That's fine. You can do all that, or guest can modify event, sure, whatever. But otherwise, let's go ahead and click continue. Okay, so now we've got it all set up. So let's test it and make sure that it all works. So we're going to do the test and review. And voila, a detailed event was sent to Google Calendar just now. Test was successful. Yay! Okay, so we are ready to turn this app on. So let's turn on this app. And that's it. Okay, your Zap is on. So now, when I add a new task, boom, to my Sierra account, it will send it over to my Google Calendar, and I will get some sort of a notification to remind me that task is done, depending on what I set my reminders up as. And there you go. Now I have my Sierra connected to my Google Calendar so I can more easily keep track of my follow-up. All right. I know that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. Just, hit that rewind button if you got stuck on something, or shoot me an email if you have questions about it specifically, if something's not working. And thanks for watching.